Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's Mayor's Update. As always, we have a lot of important information to share with you this week, so please feel free to share this video with your friends, family, relatives, and anyone else who you think might find this information helpful over the course of the coming week. I want to start off by saying thank you to Congresswoman Lori Trahan, who joined us here in Gardner this past week. Congresswoman Trahan and State Representative John Zlotnick were both able to secure earmarks from their respective budgets to support the Evergreen Grove Roots program at the Carl Dahl House, the Gamma facility located on Route 140, to support their programming that's there. For those of you who may be unfamiliar with the Roots program or the operations of Evergreen Grove at that facility, individuals who are experiencing mental health issues or substance abuse disorders can go seek treatment and therapy at that site, and by working with the animals on the site, go through those sessions without realizing you're going through a therapy session, and relating your life experiences to what's happening on the farm, and taking care of the animals as a way to learn how to take care of yourselves. It's actually a really neat program, and it's actually something that Gamma is hoping to utilize as a pilot program through state funding to see if it's something that can be modeled in other states across the United States and other communities across the Commonwealth here, and be something that can be added into Mass Health later on once this pilot period is done. So it's actually something that's very unique right here in our backyard, and trend-setting again for us here in the Chair City. So thank you very much to Sean Hayden and his team over at Gamma for their commitment to Gardner, and to Congresswoman Lori Trahan and State Representative John Zlotnick for securing that funding of $225,000 total in the end between the two of them, to expand the services that are offered over at that facility. It's great to see Gardner growing in that type of a facility there to support the services that are offered to our residents here. This past week, we also came together to recognize October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This is why that there are purple lights on the windows at City Hall and throughout the downtown if you're driving in the area. The issue of domestic violence is very real in our community, and organizations like the Gardner Domestic Violence Task Force and the Voices of Truth do a great job in bringing it to our attention. I'd like to thank the members of the task force for all you do. Bernice, who's the chair of the task force, and everyone else who was involved in the work at this week's vigil. It is something that was filmed, so if you haven't seen it yet, you can watch the recordings of those. And I do want to give a special shout out to Danielle Drew, our city's domestic violence advocate that we have on staff at the Gardner Police Department. When I started as mayor 5 years ago, it's not a position that we had, and it's quite frankly, it was one that we haven't had for a while. It actually got cut back when the 2007 budget cuts took place. So it's been a while since Gardner had something like this, but we're in our second year of having her on staff part-time, and she's done a tremendous amount of job working with over 100 cases of domestic violence and working with those victims over the course of the last year to get them the resources and the tools they need to get themselves out of the situations that they are in. So thank you very much, Danielle, for the very important work you do, and the same thing to the Gardner Domestic Violence Task Force for the work you do day in and day out, not just in the month in October where we recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month, but throughout the year and every moment at every time. October is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast cancer is the most common form of cancer in women in the United States, except for skin cancers. It accounts for about 30%, or 1 in 3, of all new female cancers each year. So I want to thank our City Hall employees who went pink this past week. On Wednesday, we wore pink, if you want to play off the Mean Girls quote. In recognition of October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we really have a great crew here at City Hall who really cares about everyone in the community, some of whom have been affected by this disease themselves. So thank you very much to all of our City Hall employees who donned the pink color this past week in support of breast cancer, and looking forward to the continued awareness opportunities that will be available throughout the city throughout the month of October. The Gardner Health Department has announced that a triple E mosquito has been identified in a trap located here in Gardner. Please use precautions to prevent mosquito bites. As temperatures drop, mosquito activity will lessen, so as we approach the frost season, we do hope for this to be less of a concern. However, in the meantime, please be vigilant. Continue to use bug spray, use long sleeves, long pants, things of that nature. Luckily, we are further along in the year than when we've had this type of a situation before. I remember when I was in high school, there was a time that it was early September that we had to do this, so evening sports activities got canceled at the high school. That's not what we're looking at right now. But the mosquito being found in Gardner that is infected with the triple E disease does raise some concern, so we're just asking people to be vigilant. And hopefully as the colder temperatures continue, we're going to have less and less of a concern with that. It's just something that we want to raise awareness of, so people are being cognizant of that in their day-to-day life. The annual winter coat drive through the Worcester County Sheriff's Office has officially been kicked off. Please, if you're looking to donate your winter coats that you no longer use, you can please donate your either new or gently worn winter coats of all sizes, boots, and other winter items and toiletries, including travel-size ones, to the Gardner Museum, where that's their official collection location. You can please share this word and let's fill the box once again. Gardner is normally one of the stronger communities that gets these winter jackets, hats, gloves, socks, toiletries out in part of the annual coat drive. It's located in the lower lobby right inside the entrance from the parking lot. All items collected will be donated directly to the Gardner CAC from the Worcester County Sheriff's Office. They also donate some of these clothing to Alyssa's Place as well. So Gardner has 2 drop-off spots as part of this program that's there. So thank you very much to Sheriff Lou Evangelitis and everyone who's involved in the Winter Coat program, to Marion Nolan, everyone at the Gardner Museum for being a drop-off location, and hopefully we can help as many people as we can in the community stay warm this winter time. The Care Central VNA and Hospice facility located on Purley Lane had a American flag raising ceremony this past Tuesday. The new executive director, president and CEO of Care Central VNA, Holly Chafee, presided over the ceremony. It had representatives from Congresswoman Trahan's office was there. I had the honor of joining. It was dedicating a new flagpole that they put at the site. It didn't have a flagpole in the front of it before, and Holly decided that that was something that had to change. So Congresswoman Trahan donated a flag that was flown over the Capitol building to Care Central VNA, and they raised that there in honor of their employees and the veterans who they have taken care of in their facilities. So thank you very much, Holly, and everyone at Care Central VNA, not only for inviting me to the ceremony, but for the work you do day in and day out, from providing adult daycare services, the diaper pantry, visiting nurses services, and so much more. So thank you for the commitment you do and for adding this little bit of a tribute to your facilities as well for us here in Gardner. Thank you. Gardner is known as the Chair City, and as such, it's only fitting that the Gardner Museum is presenting an evening about chair caning on October 17th from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. after the museum hosts a reception at 6:30 p.m. If you don't know what chair caning was before I said that, that makes 2 of us. It took her a while after Rachel wrote the outline that I have for the script here for me to learn a little bit about what chair caning actually is, and I didn't know that's what it was called. But Elaine Blake, who learned how to cane from a lady at her church in Chelmsford while she was still in high school, will talk about the ancient craft of seat weaving and demonstrate caning examples in her own chairs and in chairs of the museum's collection. She will share some anecdotes about this global craft, the harvesting and growing of the rattan vine, and to make the most cane and wicker furniture, and of her own development of the hobby of weaving to establish her own business in 2014. I did not know that weaving those items was called caning, but it's kind of cool to see us in the Chair City go back to our roots as the Chair City and seeing how some of these chairs are made. So thank you very much to the Gardner Museum for putting that on, and Elaine Blake for demonstrating how that art is done. This coming Thursday, in fact, I'm going to say this different way, we're going to have a different update next week. I'm not going to be in my office. I'm going to be at a different site, and we've done that before at a couple different things, but it's not going to be a direct update. It's going to be a celebration and a ceremony. We are having the groundbreaking ceremony for the Rear Main Street project next Thursday at 3:30 p.m. at the Rear Main Street location behind the Velvet Goose and John Sports Shop across the street from the Levi Haywood Memorial Library for Phase 2 of the project. If you're not familiar with the Rear Main Street project, Phase 1 was putting the road in 2015. Phase 2 is the parking lot, plaza, food truck court, shade pavilion, the water feature, and a lot more to it. But this is something that we received a state grant for, $4.1 million to construct this new over 100-spot parking lot and all those other features with it. That is what we are breaking the ground on now. So again, next Thursday, we're going to have that groundbreaking ceremony in lieu of the mayor's update. We are still waiting to hear back from the state if we got funding through the new Housing Works program for the Phase 3 portion of that revitalization project. That would be the housing units that are there for the apartments on Rear Main Street. That is not part of this project. This is just the parking lot, event plaza, park, and all that other stuff that we said earlier. So feel free to join us if you are around. Lastly, I just want to close by saying best of luck to our Wildcats and their homecoming game that's happening this coming Saturday. I'm filming this on Thursday the 10th. So if you're watching this before Saturday, if you're looking for something to do at 6 p.m. on Saturday night, join us at the homecoming football game over on Watkins Field. Best of luck to our Wildcats and your homecoming game. That concludes this week's Mayor's Update. As always, if you have any questions on things happening in the city at all, always feel free to reach out at any time, and we'll be happy to get that information to you. Thank you very much, and have a great day.